Are you tired of getting rejected in English job interviews? It's not your skills or experience. It's how you communicate in English. Here's how to fix it. My name is Burton Langell, Teacher Bert. For over 30 years, I was in high-level positions in business. After that, for the last 5 years since I've been retired, I've been helping IT and business professionals, executives, improve their English communications. And English communication is a lot more than the words that you say. It's how you deliver them. This is something you'll notice if you start looking at CEOs, C-suite people. It's their communication skills. Even the native people often, they might have great ideas, but if they can't communicate them effectively, they're not going to get promoted. So are you doing these interviews and not getting ahead? You can't quite figure it out? Let's get into this and cover these points. I promise you, by the end of this video, you're going to be much better at doing interviews. Many people feel stuck after getting these repeated rejections. And there's a branch of psychology that talks about this. Albert, I forget his last name, but he came up with it. And he said that basically if you had 3 bad experiences relative to something, create a belief system that says you're no good at it, which is not necessarily true, but it's the way our minds work. We can fix these things, and that's what you need to believe. You can fix it if it's broken. If it's not broken, then maybe just do it a little better. It's frustrating because you know you're qualified, but the way you present yourself in English is the key difference. Look, I saw this over and over and over in my career. And if I didn't feel confident going into a meeting, then I probably wouldn't feel good. So you have to build yourself up. Let's break down why this happens and how to turn it around. I'll show you the top mistakes you're making and how to use simple strategies to succeed in the next interview with an international company so you can get that better paying job and support your family better. So let's talk about the 3 mistakes that people using in ESL are making in interviews. Mistake number 1, focusing too much on technical skills. Your resume already proves your skills. Interviewers are looking for leadership, problem solving, and communication abilities. Example, you're overloading answers with technical jargon instead of telling a clear story. Story is the way to go. If you can get good at storytelling, you are going to do so much better. It's going to open doors for you. Mistake number 2, speaking too formally or being too rigid. It doesn't look sincere. It doesn't sound sincere. So trying to sound perfect can make you seem robotic. Wouldn't you agree with this? Think about your own experiences. It's better to sound natural and confident. Be yourself. We are thirsting for authentic people, an authentic experience, something that's not just in a framework. People want to see us as we are, as we truly are. That's why you'll notice a lot in YouTube, a lot of people are creating videos now, just speaking to the camera as themselves without all kinds of B-roll, without all kinds of, just tell us what I need to do. A lot of it's overusing memorized phrases like, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Just find something that's more about yourself. If you're grateful, let them know you're grateful for being able to do the interview and how excited you are to be there with them. And let them know you're really interested in their company. Now, mistake number 3, not being prepared for those behavioral questions in English. Tell me about a time when you failed. Tell me about a time when things just weren't working right for you. How did you correct it? And people get thrown off and people try to answer too fast. Give yourself a little time. That is a really interesting question. Let me consider it for a moment before I answer and then put your idea together. So giving a vague or incomplete answers due to lack of practice is going to hurt you here. You have to listen really closely and use the STAR method, use a process. Usually you're trying to express how you went through a struggle and how you fixed it. All these questions kind of come down to that. So give them a specific example of how you succeeded sometime. Maybe you started with this company and you were given a project to manage and you weren't really sure you could do it and you needed to go to some other people and get some data, but they weren't getting the information to you. So you returned and told them how important it was and that you felt you were failing because you weren't getting this data that you needed. And they apologized for being late and they said they wanted to help you and they did help you and you had a tremendous result and you were able to prove to management that you were competent and conscientious and ready to get the work done. So solutions, how to succeed in English interviews. Solution 1, prepare the 3 C's: clarity, confidence, and conciseness, right? And clarity comes also from listening really well. So you understand exactly what they're saying or not even what they're not saying. And you answer with confidence, not arrogance, but confidence, with eye contact, body language, no uncertainty about what you say. And you are concise. You don't waste time. So practice structuring answers with clear beginnings, middles, and ends. Use frameworks like STAR: situation, task, action, result. That little story I told you was using the STAR method, right? The situation was I had a project to do and people weren't necessarily being cooperative. But this task was critical to my success, to keeping the job or whatever. And the action I took was I went back to these people, told them how important it was, and I really needed their help. And guess what? They did decide to help, and I had a great result. So situation, task, action, result, STAR. How about solution number 2? Practice speaking naturally. Be yourself. Record yourself answering these questions. Focus on tone, pauses, sounding conversational, not robotic. I'm always telling my students to take their phone and speak into it for a couple minutes. Think before you start speaking about what you're going to speak about. Speak for 2 minutes. That's about 300 words. Then listen to yourself. Self-assess yourself. How was my tone? How was my pronunciation? How was my vocabulary? How did I put the ideas together? Was my grammar okay? And then do it one more time. This is an incredible exercise. Recording yourself is so important. Self-assessment. And I want to tell you something. You're not going to like the sound of your own voice, okay? It's physiological. It's been proven that our voices sound different to ourselves than they sound to other people. Plus, we hate to hear ourselves making mistakes. But we can't improve if we don't make mistakes. It's a proven fact. You can't learn to play the piano if you don't make mistakes. You have to practice over and over and over again. So you have to focus on your tone, your pauses, sounding conversational, not robotic. And use power statements. These are short statements, sentences highlighting your achievements, like I led a team of 5 people to deliver a project 20% faster. And what I like about this is it's very specific. 5 people to deliver 20% faster. Companies want efficiency. They want effectiveness. They want to see leadership. How about solution number 4? Learn key business English vocabulary. Learn that power language. Focus on language that shows leadership, like I corroborated, I solved, I delivered, I led. These words resonate with interviewers. Mock interviews, role play, go over it with somebody, have a mentor, get feedback, be prepared. Preparation is everything. Real-time feedback is a game changer. Get into those interview scenarios. And the next one kind of follows the same thing. So talking about example role play, I do this all the time with my students. People will have a class with me where we prepare for a meeting with the CEO or something, or they have to deliver a presentation and we work through it. And we practice these different things. We take on certain roles. So we make a mock interview and we work on fine-tuning it, where the response was poor, where it could be improved. And we go over those behavioral questions like, tell me about a challenge you faced in your last job and how you solved it. This is what they want to hear. And you have to learn to be a good communicator. Just like a native English speaker will fail at this just as much as you would yourself. A lot of it's about communication. It's not necessarily how good your grammar or your vocabulary is, but we want that key vocabulary. We want you to have what you need. Have those power statements. Be ready for it. You can do this. So I want you to take action. Don't let English interviews hold you back from your dream job. Go out there and get it. And there's a link in this description where you can book a free 15-minute discovery meeting with me. And we'll assess where you are. And I'll give you some powerful tips on that. And see if you might be interested in one of the programs I offer. It's not salesy, it's a discovery. It's meant for people who are at least at the intermediate level in English, and you need to be motivated. I really don't work with people who aren't motivated to move their lives ahead, want to take control of their lives and get what they need for their families and themselves. And so when you go in to book that 15-minute meeting, I'll ask you some questions. And if it